My boyfriend's sister told me she has feelings for me. Well, unfeel them, please. How did these people survive this drama? Let's find out. Am I the a-hole for winning a couple of million on the lottery and giving half to my ex before I met my current girlfriend? I just have so many questions. Also, congratulations. That's insane. This was first posted June 21st, 2025. So I'm 35 male and was with my ex from school until 5 years ago. We have a child together too, and we both co-parent really well. We never fell out with each other, but the love and attraction has all gone. She cheated on me, but there's more to the story than that, and it's not all on her. 2 years ago, I happened to win around 4 million on the lottery. My first thought was my child. I wanted him to grow up with an equal life like he has mine, and the less stress his parents have, the less stress he has. I decided to split the win with my ex. We have both been sensible with the money. I quit my job as a mechanic, took my sports and football coaching badges, and with a friend, we started a business going around primary schools, doing classes in all sorts of sports and fitness, and also helping out local sport clubs and teams with coaching and methods, etc. It will never make us rich, but we make around 1.5 times the national average wage. Okay, flex. I bought a $300K house and a $40K car, and that's about it. My ex opened up a beauty salon that's doing really well and also bought herself a house. I met my current girlfriend on a night out around 6 months ago. Things have been going well. She knows I won the lottery, and that's why I've got a nicer house and car than my income will normally provide, and why I like to go away on a couple of nice holidays every year. She never asked for anything from me materially and kept insisting on covering half the dates despite me offering to pay every time. We are getting more serious, but nowhere near moving in or anything like that, or her meeting my son yet. It all came to a head last week when the subject of my ex came up and my girlfriend said how nice her beauty salon is. We were with a couple of friends and one of them said, "It should be nice. Sam paid for it." She asked what he was talking about, and before I could answer, my friend said he gave her 2 million quid. My girlfriend was quiet for the rest of the night, and then we got back to mine. She exploded and said I was still in love with her, and that's why I gave her the money, that I wasn't normal, that no wonder a lottery winner only lives in a house like this and drives a crap car when I gave half away, that I was a gullible simp, how embarrassed she is by me, how we could be set for life with that money and never work again, etc., etc. Girl needs to kick rocks. She ain't the one. It went on for so long, I told her to leave as I'm going to bed and I'm not listening to this anymore. I haven't seen her since, and she hadn't answered my calls or replied to my messages apart from the odd insults until today when she said the only way she could stay with me is to ask my ex for whatever money she has left to be returned to me so she can save face. I told her no, and I'm done with her. She again accused me of trying to buy back my ex, and I blocked her. Is this going to be a problem I have with other women going forward? Am I the a-hole for this? Am I like losing it? Because I'm thinking absolutely not. You weren't with anyone when you won the lottery. Your ex and you share a child, and you're thinking about the child because that benefits the child. When mom is able to take care of the child, that also, helps. I'm trying to think of every possible thing right now in my head. I'm like, am I like getting the full perspective here? I understand your reasoning. I think it might be different if you're dating someone long term and you do that without talking to them. You've been with this girl for 6 months. Girl, what are you talking about? You don't get a say in what happened to my lottery winnings back then. What are you talking about? I need more. There's an update. 6 days later, June 27th, 2025. She unblocked me and asked for forgiveness, but I said no, it's gone too far, and for me, it's over. She didn't take it very well, and I got bombarded with abusive messages for a day or two, but they've stopped today, as have the phone calls from a withheld number. Girl's crazy. A few people asked in the last post why I gave my ex half rather than put it in savings for a kid. Okay, fair perspective. Between us, we have nearly $1 million that we have put aside for him that cannot be touched and will earn interest over the years. Can I be your kid? As for the cheating, which a lot of people mentioned, we were each other's first for everything, and we talked about it and both admitted a few years ago we felt a touch of regret. We both agreed to threesomes, so over the course of the next year or so, we had them with a few men and a few women. Unfortunately, she ended up catching feelings for one of the men. Not the end of the world, and no reason for us to fall out. And that's the end of the story. And that's the end of the story. We used to sing that when we were done reading a book to the kids at the daycare when I used to work at a daycare. Anyways, I don't know if I'm tripping or what, but I don't think you're the a-hole. Even if someone doesn't agree, like you gave your ex half the money, that's insane. That's not my money and not my choice to decide. That's your lottery winnings. Not my place. My boyfriend's sister told me she has feelings for me. Boyfriend's sister. And I have no idea what to do. Yeah. Understandably so. That is quite literally like Matt's sister coming to me and being like, hey girl, I got feelings for you. Well, unfeel them, please. So this is a mess and I haven't told anyone about it yet. I've been dating my boyfriend. We've been together for almost 3 years, and I've always had a pretty chill relationship with his family. His younger sister, she's 29, I'm 34 female, have always been super friendly, and honestly, I thought we just got along really well. But last weekend, she came over to hang out while my boyfriend was working late, and I don't know, something felt off. She kept touching my arm, complimenting me more often than usual, and then after a couple drinks, she just came out and said it, that she has had feelings for me for a while and thinks we would be perfect together in another life or something. I just froze. I kind of laughed it off because I didn't know what else to do, and I just changed the topic. But now I feel weird around her, and I don't know if I should tell my boyfriend. I don't want to make things awkward with his family or start drama, but I also feel like I'm keeping a secret that could blow up later. She hasn't texted me since, but I can't stop thinking about it. What do I even say? Do I bring it up with him or just let it go and hope it never happens again? See, I could not keep that to myself. No way. I'd be like, Matt, you are never gonna guess what just happened. I would have to talk to him about it, and I would say, how do you want to go about this? This is your sister and your family, and I love your family. How do we approach this together? Because I don't know what the f to do. Next, my boyfriend is having a baby with his ex. I recently started dating this guy I met off Hinge. He asked me to be his girlfriend after 4 days. We had a really great first date, and we had a great time every time we're together. This Saturday, we went rafting with my friends. It was his first time meeting my friends. Everyone had a great time, and everyone said they were so happy for me and they really liked him. Before the trip, his ex called him and he told me he had talked to her the other day, but he hadn't known how to tell me. He said she's been showing up to his house and blowing up his phone. He blocked her in front of me and said he was sorry for not telling me, but our relationship is so new that he didn't want me upset or to start drama. He said that they've been broken up for 8 months after a 4-year relationship, which he has told me before. He said they haven't talked in months, and he told her that he was seeing someone, and then she started to blow up his phone. Monday, a few days after he blocked his ex, we were supposed to hang out. He told me he had something he wanted to tell me in person. I made him tell me over the phone, and he said his ex has been calling from random numbers and texted him that she was in a car accident and they ran tests and she's pregnant. She said she has endometriosis and it would be a high-risk pregnancy, but it could be a new start for them. The text she sent said she was willing to terminate the pregnancy, but he said when she called, she told him she was keeping it. He asked for proof, and she said that she would go to the OBGYN. Obviously, I'm upset. This is so much drama for a fresh relationship. I really like him though, and he's so sweet and generous. We were supposed to go camping this weekend for 4th of July and Peru in September. Not that it matters, but the sex is great too. I told him if she really is pregnant, I would leave. He still wants to be with me and hopes we can move on. We still don't know if she's really pregnant and if it's his. Advice? Edit. For some context, We've been dating for about 2 weeks. Okay. He said they had a one-night stand about 4 months ago when they saw each other at a party. He said she took a Plan B and had an IUD. Or so she said. I'm a little suspicious about the fact that you're claiming she started reaching out when he told her that he was seeing someone else. It could be a jealous girl, mad that he's found someone else and now she's faking the pregnancy, or she really could be pregnant, straight up. My husband of 6 years had an affair with a coworker. My husband had an affair with a coworker last year. I found out about it on New Year's Eve. I had a gut feeling for months though. I decided to give our relationship a shot. We have 3 kids. 1, 10 female, I have from a previous relationship, but he has been in her life since she was about 1, and we are in the process of having him adopt her, or where I'm not sure if that's the path to go anymore. He did not treat me well or do much, but say he was really sorry for the first couple of months after the affair. He told me he was mourning his relationship with his affair partner and wasn't really feeling the love in our relationship. You're mourning the loss of your affair partner. Yeah, let me sit with that for a quick sec, because I don't need a second longer. Fuck yourself. Oh my God, Jocelyn, I'm angry. His complaints and reasoning for the affair are that I don't have enough sex with him. Generally, we are at about once a month, sometimes longer during my pregnancies and postpartum. I know it wasn't enough, but I've had 2 high-risk pregnancies in the almost 6 years we've been married, and I suffered postpartum depression with both. He also largely blames me for the debt we carried. We took ownership of his parents' house in 2021. I really didn't want the house at all. They were hoarders and never got all their stuff out, so we moved into the chaos, and the house was largely neglected and was, and still is, a huge fixer-upper. We're talking about hundreds of thousands in repair. Due to this, his parents gifted us the house and we took out a HELOC for $150,000. We spent it on repairs, a new roof, replacing the 30-year-old windows, a water heater, air conditioning, and we remodeled the kitchen. My husband thinks the only things we needed to do were the roof, water heater, and AC. He says I put us over budget by remodeling the kitchen, but I thought we took out the money to use it all since we had no mortgage. We also ended up having to buy a van when I was pregnant with our 3rd to fit all of the kids. He wanted a beater and I wanted something that would last longer, so we got a used Toyota Sienna for $30,000. He complains that I bullied him into these things and we are now in too much debt because he didn't stand up to me because he didn't want me to be upset. What does debt have to do with cheating though? He sends me videos about how I emasculate him and tells me he's taking control now. I should add that I've been a stay-at-home mom now for almost 2 years, but have recently taken on 2 jobs plus running an art business to help with bills and take the pressure off of him. He also has been bringing up every time he thinks I've wronged him our entire relationship and told me he almost called off our wedding because of my red flags. I found out at the end of May he had a secret Snapchat and was still talking to his affair partner. I was obviously upset, but not surprised. He hadn't shown too much interest since January. I got a Snapchat to show him that I knew and confronted him when he got home. I told him we needed to start counseling if there was a chance of this working, so we're doing that. He, however, is upset that I didn't delete my Snapchat. Okay, well that's just freaking comical. I have 2 friends I now talk to on there occasionally, both male. One is a coworker I've known for years. The other is my best friend from high school, who I have known for almost 20 years. Apparently, you can set the chats to stay longer, which I didn't know, and the fact that I didn't is a red flag to him. I also have been going out every other Friday night after work with some coworkers. He is convinced I'm cheating on him and is constantly asking to look through my phone. He says my behavior would make anyone think that I'm cheating. I'm not. I'm just trying to process my emotions and have some friends again. I have been isolated for a long time. I don't know what to do. He always leaves me so confused and questioning if everything is my fault and I'm really the problem in this relationship. He says he doesn't want to leave me, but he's certainly not acting like he wants to stay, and I don't know at this point if I should. I hate to destabilize our children and break up our family though, especially when I know he will consider it my fault. Okay, well girl, you know the truth, so who cares? Edit, I forgot to add he went behind my back and got paternity tests on our 2 daughters after I caught him having the affair. Yeah. Well, see, the funny thing about cheaters is that because they're cheating, they start panicking in their head that you're cheating because they're out there cheating. And they're like, well, hey, if I'm cheating, what if she's cheating? Not all of us are cheaters. You know what time it is? Hydration station. Grab your beverage, but drink some water today. You need it. Literally. Cheers. Next up, I went to the wrong funeral. I stayed. Now her grandma sends me birthday cards. What? Why would you stay? I was in a new city. A weekend, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. Hey, service is at 3. Wear something dark. She hated bright colors. I know you didn't know her well, but it would mean a lot if you came. I stared at it. I wasn't sure who it was meant for, but it felt urgent. Like maybe they really needed someone there, and I had nothing else to do. So I went. I pulled up to the church a few minutes early. I sat in the back. No one questioned me. I figured maybe it was a distant coworker or a college friend. I kept waiting for someone to say, wait, who are you? But they didn't. The woman who had passed, her name was Marion, and she had the kindest smile I've ever seen. I learned about her love for jazz, her cat named Newton, and how she never let anyone leave her house without taking a cookie. I sat through every eulogy like I had known her forever. This is crazy. I wish I had that kind of time on my hands. Afterward, during the gathering, her grandmother approached me. You were her friend from art class, weren't you? She asked. I froze. That was me freezing. Was that good? I don't even think I blinked. No, I think I got the wrong text. She laughed. Actually laughed. So you're just here? For a stranger? I nodded. Didn't want her to have an empty room. Oh my God, that could make me cry. She grabbed my hand and said, then you are exactly the kind of person she would have liked. We sat together for hours talking about Marion, about grief, about weird coincidences. Before I left, her grandma gave me a small velvet pouch. Take this, she said. Marion would have insisted you didn't leave empty-handed. Inside was a single sugar cookie shaped like a heart. A year later, her grandmother still sends me a birthday card, always with a cookie recipe inside. I sent her a handwritten thank you every time. I don't know why I went that day, but I'm glad I did. Sometimes the wrong funeral is exactly where you are meant to be. That is so precious and adorable. What a beautiful human experience that must have been. My whole heart. I would never care if a stranger rolled up to my funeral. Okay, if you sit there and you're respectful and you're like learning about me and supporting the people that are there that knew me, why not? I love that story. I met my boss on Tinder. Help. I, female 29, met my boss, male 35, on Tinder maybe 6 months ago. We started texting and chatting, and it came up that he needed an employee for his business. And I was looking for a job, so he hired me. Now it's been 4 months since I've started working for him. So to keep things short, when I started, he was very flirty and I was very into it. 2 weeks into the job, we kissed. And since then, we began having makeout sessions in the place of work. I know it's wrong, but it was too good. Nothing else happened. I invited him to my place a few times and he always came up with an excuse, so I stopped asking, but we kept fooling around. Now it kind of stopped happening because he told me that he hooked up with someone a few weeks ago and it annoyed me. I mean, all of this for nothing? I didn't say anything though, I backed off. The issue is that I don't know how to set boundaries without jeopardizing my job. Sometimes he stands too close to or insinuates things and I can't resist. I want him to respect me, but at the same time, I like the attention I get from him. What can I do? Edit to clarify. We haven't had sex, just kissing. It's a very small business. Think of it as a deli or a small convenience store in which there's only 2 people working, him and me. I'm his only employee. He's my boss and my coworker. There's no HR, there's no nothing, not even legal. I'm sure this is polemic, but it's not in the US. It's pretty much normal in my country to do things this way. Doesn't make it right, I know. It is what it is. We didn't meet up until the job interview. We texted for like a month, but had never met. He has a reputation of fooling around with his employees, and when they get attached, they're gone. I knew this. I know I may seem naive at this point, maybe even a fool, but I know that there are girls and women out there who can absolutely relate to this. The more people I know, the more I realize this happens to all of us. It hasn't happened to me. We want things to be a certain way in our minds. Okay, this has happened to me. We want things to be a certain way, and in our minds, we believe it's gonna happen with all our hearts, and then just nothing. Idealization is a hard thing to let go, and disappointment always comes next. That I can relate to, of course. In every toxic relationship, it's just like, no, but it's gonna change. They're gonna change. It's gonna be great. And then it's not. My girlfriend just gave birth to our first child. I know I'm not the biological father, and I revealed I knew as soon as she gave birth. Oh boy. This was posted December 7th, 2022. I found out when she was about 6 months along. The guy, Brian, approached me at my work. "Are you Sarah's boyfriend?" I said yeah, and asked what he wanted. He said he was sorry that he had slept with her and swore he didn't know that she was with someone. I don't believe that. He then pulled out his phone to show the text between them. They had been sleeping together or linking up for at least a year. Then she found out she was pregnant, and they came to an agreement to just pretend the baby was mine. In return, she wouldn't lose her perfect life, and he wouldn't be responsible for a baby. I knew it was weird. We had been having problems trying for a baby, and all of a sudden she got pregnant so easily. But he explained that he had been thinking about it, and he recently became a Christian. He said he couldn't live his life knowing that I was living a lie with this child, and they didn't know who their real father was. So yeah, I told him I would keep in touch and to not say that he said anything just yet. I've had a lot of time to think, but ultimately I decided to wait until she gave birth. To hurt her in her most vulnerable moment, I'll spare the details, but she went into labor, the baby was born, and was taken to the NICU to be monitored for a bit. What should have been a beautiful moment of me holding my baby was the most heartbreaking time of my life. Just knowing he was not mine hurt me. Once she was sewn up and comfortable, I started packing up my stuff to leave. She asked where I was going, and I just told her. I know I'm not the baby's father. You can act all shocked, but I know. Just ask Brian to come. I'm positive he will sign the birth certificate. Then I left. She's been calling my phone over and over, even sending texts as I type this, and has even gotten her sister to call me a few times. It was hard pretending for these last few months, but I think I'm satisfied. I feel really, really heartbroken though. I was planning to propose to her on the day our baby was born. I was gonna make her the happiest woman ever. Oh well, I'm gonna go get drunk now. I don't think that's a good idea though. We do have an update, which came 3 weeks later, December 27th. I'll cut to the chase. I am not the father, but I already knew that deep down. Brian and the baby are a match, so that pretty much answers the question. He's very excited to be a dad, even despite the circumstances. We've kept in touch this whole time, and he's actually a really great guy. Goes to church now, volunteers at shelters, etc. I'm not sure if we'll continue to stay in touch after this, but I wouldn't mind getting a drink with him every once in a while. I hope the kid does great in life. He should have Brian as his dad. As for Sarah, around the time I posted, she had asked Brian to be with her officially since there was nothing left to hide. As far as I know, he has not taken her up on that offer and just wants to co-parent for the sake of being in his kid's life. I think that's very smart of him, honestly. Me and her have talked as well. We talked about where it all went wrong. She felt as though I wasn't there for her fully and just felt unfulfilled. Which I understand. I wasn't always the best guy, but I treated her the best I could. I guess it just wasn't meant to be. She started crying and I did give her a hug, but I made sure she knew it wasn't because I cared about her. She's offered to stay friends and for me to visit if I want, but I declined. I'm not really interested in keeping up with her and her kid, but I did give her the stuffed animal I was planning to give our kid someday as a gift. She's been staying with her mom and has fully moved out her stuff. She asked me to keep her number, but I blocked her the same day she finished moving out. So it's just me now. I'm not gonna lie, my heart has been super heavy, but I think I'll be okay. There's a cute girl at my work and we've been talking. She's a single mom and has been awesome so far. I explained that I wanted to go slow because of my recent breakup and she understands. We've hooked up once or twice, nothing serious yet. I just want to be by myself for now, but I will likely give her a shot when I'm ready. That's it for now. I'm depressed, but I'm working out now at least. I never want to talk to Sarah and will likely never see her again. It sucks because she was such a big part of my life, but that's gone now. We actually have another update. I thought that was the final update. This one came August 8th, 2023. Been roughly 8 months. No, I don't talk to Sarah. Screw Sarah. Haven't seen her. Last I heard, she moved 3 hours away with her mom to be closer to some family. I kept seeing her around town a lot, so I'm grateful she's gone. She would attempt to have conversations with me sometimes in the first month after she gave birth, but that soon stopped. As for Brian, we text occasionally. And we did go out for that beer. He overall seems happy to be a father, but we don't talk about Sarah. I don't keep up much with him anyways. We're both hardworking men with jobs, kids, and lives to live, so it's kind of hard to keep up. I don't think they're together at all, but who knows. Speaking of kids, the woman who is a single mom that I started seeing, we're still together. Her kid is awesome and I love being her stepdad, to be honest. I initially was gonna cut all contact with her after falling off into a bad drinking habit, but she really kept me grounded. I didn't meet my stepdaughter for a while, but when I did, I knew I couldn't leave. Being a part of this little family has healed me in ways I literally can't fathom. And before anyone says I used them to deal with the trauma of not having my own kid, that couldn't be further from the truth. I'm in therapy, I got myself together, and most days I don't even think about my ex. I know this is not the point of the story, but my mind is blown that he can have a relationship of like any sort with Brian, the affair partner. No way do I want any conversation with an affair partner. However, okay, wait, if Brian didn't know, that could be different because not Brian's fault, because he was like, this is just a single girl and I like her. However, if Brian knew, that's where I'm like, oh, how? Anyways, let me know your thoughts and feelings on all this drama. I'll see you in the comment section. Stay classy out there, stay sassy.